There was a time where I literally couldn't make any decision without running it past five people first. I didn't even trust my own voice. And I didn't even realize at the time how much that was actually costing me. Hey guys, my name is Brittany, and welcome back to the Becoming Her series. This is episode 3, where we're talking all about self acceptance. This episode is all about stepping into your power and no longer needing permission to be yourself. All right, guys, let's get into it. Now, why self acceptance matters. Self acceptance is huge because if you do not accept yourself for who you are, you're going to forever be outsourcing your validation to outside sources, people, things, and none of that helps on your journey to becoming the best version of yourself. Let's be honest. You're never going to fully glow up if you keep outsourcing your validation to outside sources. And trust me, I've been there before. Y'all know I used to be a validation girly. Like it was crazy. I needed validation on almost everything. What my hair looked like, what I wore, even down to like diet and exercise. I literally had to run all of these things past my mom, past my big sister. It was really, really, really bad. Like I always needed a second opinion. And when I stepped away from my business, my first business, I felt so lost. Like I didn't even know who I was anymore. I had literally built my new identity on that business. And walking away from that business, I really had to figure out who I was, where I wanted to go, and what I had to do next. And in that time, I really started to look inside of me. I realized like my mom's not living my life for me. My sister's not living my life for me. I have to live my life on my own. I have to find out what it is that Brittany needs in order to feel good, to be successful, and to overcome this. Because I'm not going to lie, you guys, I was in a real dark place after walking away from my business. I felt like I had failed, like I didn't know where else to go and what I was supposed to do next. And it was a really, really scary time for me. And that is the time when I really realized how much I valued other people's opinions over my own. And it was that time that I was like, you know what? I have to make a change. I have to start living for me. So I decided, I'm going to start rebuilding myself. I'm going to start journaling. I'm going to start praying. I'm going to start meditating. I'm going to start getting into the word. I'm going to start validating Brit. So immediately after I left my business, I started working on me. Okay. I started working on me. I started to feel better. And then what happened was that old identity came up. I started to feel fear because things weren't working out fast enough. And I decided to go back into my job. And I know that we talked about that in the first episode. But when I decided I'm an entrepreneur at heart, I got to do this, I was afraid to tell my mom, you guys. I was afraid to let my family know that I was walking away. So instead, that's when I really had to lean on myself. That's when I really had to be like, you know what? This is your life. You got to make these decisions. And I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell anyone what I was doing. I literally just kind of internalized, went inward, started working on a plan, started building my business, started coming up with the name, the product. Literally everything was built before my family even knew what was going on. As a matter of fact, they didn't hear about the business, the podcast, anything until it dropped when everybody heard about it. And that's when I knew, okay, you got this. You're no longer in the validation crew. You're actually validating yourself. You built a whole entire business without running it past not one single person in your family. You got this, Britt. You're on your way, girl. You better go, girl. That's when I knew, okay. And it felt so good. You want to know why it felt really, really good? Because when I presented this business and what I was working on to my family, they were surprised. They loved the idea. They were on board. They supported, and I didn't have to run anything by them. And that was like, wow, okay, you got it. You got it. You got it. So you really, really do have to start finding validation inside. And you know what helped me a lot? Just getting positivity into my mind first thing in the morning, starting to just really work on routines that fed my mind, nourished my body, my soul, my mind, everything. I did not show my family anything. Lavara was literally built. I had a sample on the way. I had the LLC purchased for my podcast. I had just dropped my first episode. I rolled it out, and they seen when everybody else seen. And that was huge for me. That was really, really huge for me because in that moment, I validated Britt every step of the way. I accepted all the things that I went through about myself as far as, being indecisive, changing my mind, not knowing what I wanted to do or how I wanted to do it. I took the time out to actually just help myself make the decisions on my own, and it got me to where I'm at. Now I actually have my loungewear brand. It's in physical form. It's no longer on my vision board. It is actually here. I have customers. So it was good. It was a great experience, but it also showed me that I can depend on me. And that's what you got to do. You have to know that you can depend on yourself, and you have to push yourself to the limits. And it was very uncomfortable. And there was times where I really wanted to run things past people and get opinions on things. And I just had to stay true to who I was. Because let me tell you something about when you start letting people in and telling them your ideas before they come to fruition. They start to change your mind about things that you've already decided on. Like, have you ever thought like, okay, I'm gonna get my hair like this, or something small, and then you run it past a friend or a family member or somebody, and they're like, "Girl, I don't like that," and you decide, okay, well, maybe I should change the color, or maybe I shouldn't wear it like this. That's exactly how everything works. When you are working on something sacred, something beautiful, something new, you have to keep it to yourself. You have to validate yourself every step of the way. You have to clap for yourself, even when no one is looking or even when nobody knows. Let me tell y'all what I did for myself when I decided I'm going to drop my podcast. Now, mind you, my podcast, I had started a year before. I had started when I first walked away from my first business, Skin Quench. I decided, you know what, I'm just going to record myself. I'm going to record how I'm feeling in this moment. And I was scared. I didn't put it out at the time. I was afraid. And you know what I'm just thinking now? It just wasn't time. It wasn't time. And that's why it didn't go out. And that's fine. So fast forward a year later, I listened to that podcast and I'm like, this is amazing. I need to put it out there. I dropped the episode and I was like getting ready to like go home, and then I stopped and I was like, now, in this season, I'm doing things differently. I am celebrating everything that I do in this season because in my last business, it was always hustle, hustle, hustle. It was like, okay, I did that. Okay, what's next? Okay, I did that. Okay, what's next? It's like I never took the time out to just stop and celebrate myself for the small wins. And so I was like, you know what? I'm doing it differently this time. So I like went to the store and I bought myself a dozen red roses, long stem, beautiful roses. And I'm in the store like, am I about to spend this kind of money on myself? Hold on. Like, am I really about to buy myself roses? And I was like, you deserve them. Bought myself some roses, bought myself some champagne, and went home and I celebrated me. And you know what's funny is like I had my daughter in the car with me, and it was just really good for her to see me celebrating myself and making that normal so that she sees that and it inspires her in her life. So, I'm going home and I have this huge smile on my face. I'm just literally smiling from ear to ears. I just keep looking over at my roses, keep looking over at my champagne. And I'm like, this is a genuine smile. Like, I really feel good about what I did for myself. So I validated me. I didn't wait for nobody to clap for me. I didn't wait for anyone to say congratulations. I said congratulations to me, and it made a world of difference. And it just kind of shows you how you should be treated. And it sets that standard, right? So anybody come in your life, you are been treating yourself good, and they're gonna have to treat you good too. That is a part of self acceptance. That is a part of just embracing who you are, embracing yourself on the journey, and celebrating every milestone because every little thing deserves to be celebrated. The version of me that I was becoming, she couldn't wait to be chosen. She was choosing herself. All right, guys. So that brings me to the next thing. What's keeping us stuck? The number one thing that keeps us stuck is fear of judgment. And I'm gonna be honest, I was in the same exact boat. And even now, sharing my YouTube videos and like sharing my podcast with people that know me, it's hard. It's scary. But the thing about fear is when you are choosing her every day, you move in spite of the fear. Even with the knot in your stomach or feeling like, oh my God, what am I doing? You do it anyway. That's choosing her. And in that moment when I had to like share what I was working on and like put it out there, I felt so much fear of judgment. Like, are they gonna accept the new me? Are they gonna be like, oh my God, Oh, so she thinks she's this now and she's doing that now. Like all of that fear of judgment was overwhelming. And I literally had to sit with myself and think, am I going to play small? Am I going to keep on playing small? Or am I going to put myself out there? Because they're going to judge you anyway. This is your life. You get one life to live. And in that moment, I was like, I'm doing it scared. I'm doing it unsure. I'm doing it imperfectly. I'm just doing it anyway. So do not let the fear of judgment stop you from living a life that you want to live because people are going to talk. They're going to talk when you're doing good. They're going to talk when you're doing bad. Just as long as you keep on pushing and just as long as you keep on choosing yourself, the people that are meant for you, that are meant to get the word, the message, or whatever creativity that you're putting out there in the world, they're going to find you. They're going to find you. Another thing that keeps us stuck is waiting for people to validate you. Now, we just had a whole segment on validation and waiting for people to validate you. And I think what's sad is we really do get caught up in thinking that if somebody else says it's good, then it's good. So I challenge you to do something in quiet. Just pop out on everybody when it's done. Don't let nobody know what you're doing. Don't let nobody know how you're getting it done. Just do you. And I swear you're going to be so surprised that when you show people, they're going to be like, oh, I didn't know that you was doing that. Oh, I like that. Well, how did you do that? How did you get that done? That is exactly what happens when you take the time to validate yourself. The people that are meant for you, they're going to find you. And the people that you're scared of that are judging you, they turn around. They turn around and they be praising you. Trust and believe. Also, believing that someone knows better than you. I know this all too well, right? You see people doing the things that you want to do, and you feel like, I don't know enough, or maybe it's been done before, or, I'm not good enough. These are all of the things that keep you stuck. Take, for instance, my loungewear brand, right? I'm like, there's so many people doing loungewear. Like, how am I going to find my people? Is it like, are they going to care? Is people going to support me? And let me tell you something, people support who you are as a person. It's really different now because you are the brand. You are the brand. And the thing about that I realized too is you have to let go of the outcome because I was so fixated on, okay, it has to be this way, it has to be that way, it has to be this way. And it's like, you just literally have to do the work. Obviously, you want to have a plan in motion and do that, but you have to let go of the outcome because God is going to work it out. I promise. Every single time where I feel defeated in life, there's something that shows up where I know God is working. And He's like, look, Britt, I got you. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. So don't worry about if somebody else is doing it or you feel like it's oversaturated or somebody knows better than you. Nobody can tell a story the way that you can tell a story. And the people that are for you, they're going to find you and they're going to only want to hear it from you in the way that you say it in your voice in your demeanor in your mannerisms. That is what draws people in. And you don't need everybody in the world. You just need your people. And I'm just trying to find mine. So if you're on here, hey girl, for real, like that's all it takes. It just takes your community of people, you showing up real, being authentic, being yourself. Because if you're showing up as somebody else in trying to convince people of something that you are like curating, eventually the mask is going to fall off and people are going to see you for who you are. You have to be authentically who you are. Be true to yourself so that you can keep on showing up, so that you can keep on inspiring the world because God only made one of you and you're here for a reason. Another thing that keeps us stuck is child conditioning, trauma from our past, not feeling like you're good enough. Those are the types of things that I definitely recommend going to therapy, working it out with a professional so that you can get to the root of what has caused you to be stuck in those places. Obviously, doing the self work, journaling, there are great prompts that could help you get to it. But if you have some serious trauma that you really need to work through, childhood trauma, I cannot suggest enough by going into therapy. It is a great place to be, trust me. And I don't know why there's like this weird stigma on getting professional help, but I'm an advocate. I think it's a great thing to do. I feel like it really does help. And in a lot of different times in my life, I had to resort back to therapy because it's a place where you can work out your inner thoughts with an unbiased person and work through that trauma. So what happens is you get disconnected from your intuition, from childhood trauma, from, past conditioning, things that tell you that you're not good enough, that you can't make it, that you can't do it. And that is so far from the truth. Anything that you put your mind to, anything that you work hard towards, you can do and you can get it done. And trust me, because I have been in all of these places, which is why I speak on them. I love my ebook because it definitely has like my real life experiences in there. I share them vulnerably with you all in that book, just so that you guys can see where I'm coming from as a person, my experiences, and know that wherever you are in your journey, you can do it too. There's this quote that I live by, okay? I don't know if you guys have read the 5 a.m. Club, but I love it. It teaches you how to seize your mornings. It's a perfect way to kind of like get into the groove of finding out how you want to move in your mornings and seizing the day. But there's a quote in there that I love, and it says, all change is hard in the beginning, messy in the middle, and gorgeous in the end. And that just hits so hard for me because change, when you're first starting that change, is the hardest thing. And don't get it twisted. I'm in the messy middle right now, and the messy middle is hard too. It's really hard. But the thing about that middle part is that you know where you're going, you know what you're doing. It's just getting there. It's putting one foot in front of the other and getting there, because what we are all looking forward to is that gorgeous end. That gorgeous end, and it's so much closer than you think. So much closer. And remember this, you don't need permission to evolve. You just need alignment. Okay, now let's talk about people pleasing, because people pleasing is another thing that does not help you step into full alignment and help you become the best version of yourself. If you're always shrinking to fit into other people's boxes and being the type of person that they want you to be, you never get to that point where you validate yourself and find that self acceptance. When you're always trying to shape shift and be the person who people are acceptant of, okay, where you don't want to use your own mind because you feel like you're going to be judged for it. That's the way that people pleasing shows up. You're always trying to shrink and fit into people's idea of you. And that is something that you definitely have to stop. But when you start validating yourself, you'll realize that you're not for everybody. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And honey, that is just fine. You do not want to be for everybody. Also, perfectionism definitely keeps you in your head and not in alignment. This is the thing that I had to keep telling myself. Done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. I swear, I will be like, does that look right? Is this okay? And that comes from people pleasing too. Like, it will keep you stagnant. You definitely need to let go of perfectionism. Nothing is going to be 100% perfect. There's not going to be a perfect time when you need to move, when you need to put your stuff out there, when you need to do you. There's never going to be a perfect time. You literally just have to move. You have to move, and then you start getting better and better as you start doing more and more. But if you let perfectionism keep you stuck, it really will. It'll keep you stuck. It'll keep you stagnant. All right, guys, I want to give you 2 journal prompts that's going to help you move from perfectionism and people pleasing into your full alignment. So, the first journal prompt is going to be, where in my life am I still waiting to be chosen? Think on that, expand on that, and think how things would be different if you chose yourself in that moment or in that instance. Okay, guys, number 2. What part of me am I still afraid to fully accept? What part of you are you still pushing down because you are afraid to fully accept it? And what would change if you did? Those are 2 journal prompts that I'm giving you to work out this week. And let me know how you feel once you expand on those 2 journal prompts. All right, guys. So that's it for this video, part 3 in our Becoming Her series of self acceptance. If this video resonated with you, please drop a comment and let me know what thing you are working on to fully accept about yourself. And if you're ready to go deeper, the Becoming Her ebook is available for purchase. I'm going to put the link in the description. You guys check it out. Let me know what you think. All right, guys. So that is it for this video. Until next time, I love you guys. Bye.